Welcome back. Now, Russia has consistently denied targeting civilians in Ukraine. Today, branding claims it bombed the maternity and children's hospital in Mariupol as fake news. But it's a strategy that Russian forces have used before, accused of carrying out systematic attacks on medical facilities to help Bashar al Assad's regime secure victory in Syria. One man very familiar with this strategy is Doctor Hamza Al-kateab.
سما عملت هالفيلم مشانك.
His wife, Waad's Oscar-nominated film For Summer documented their life in Aleppo under siege, including attacks on the hospital where Hamza worked. When I spoke to him earlier, he told me the Russian military has no red lines. Hamza, you've been calling on the Russians to stop bombing hospitals for years, since you were in Aleppo in Syria. How did you feel yesterday when you saw a maternity hospital being bombed in Ukraine?
So, to be completely honest, I wasn't surprised because, we've been campaigning for that when we were in Syria, or even after that. It's the same kind of perpetrators, but in different countries. It's kind of their war tactic.
They say, as they always did in Syria, they were not targeting hospitals. Yeah, why do you think they were?
It's always like collateral damage, that they don't know where hospital is, but it's obviously from all the maps, from all the intelligence they have, it won't be it's not coincidence that the Russian army in each area they're moving onward and control, there'll be a hospital destructions and healthcare and health facilities destruction in a way or another. That just doesn't make sense to be just coincidence. It's destroying the resilience of the people.
So the effect on the civilian population of a hospital being bombed is more profound than other targets? Definitely,
because it gives a clear idea there is no kind of saint or haven place in this war. In Aleppo, we had people, it was very known, we had people refusing to be admitted in a hospital. It'd be please give me the medication, I can't try to take them outside because, doctor, it's too dangerous to be here. And then with no health care, there's no health system in the besieged area.
Then you have to leave.
You have to leave, that's the only option.
People might be confused and saying, hang on, Syria was Assad and the Syrian army. How in control do you believe the Russians were?
So, first of all, the Syrian army is completely trained and equipped by Russia. All the military tactic they have and the training and strategies, it's completely from the Russian army. And they officially were in Syria in September 2015, but they were way before that, influencing all the strategic decisions.
So what do you think Ukrainians should expect now?
They shouldn't expect any kind of red lines to be respected or any humanitarian law to be expected in this invasion. They shouldn't expect that it's kind of a short-term thing that's gonna kind of change in a couple of weeks or months. It's a long-lasting war. Unfortunately, also, don't expect that the war is gonna stand beside you for a long time. People tend to forget. Media tend to shift to the next hot point or to the next kind of conflict area. And suddenly now the two almost million Ukrainian refugees, that number gonna increase in the days. And then suddenly the narrative gonna be they're stealing our jobs. You should have stayed to fight for your country. What are you doing here?
Do you have this sense that people in Britain and Europe are identifying more with the victims in Ukraine than they did in Syria?
So, unfortunately, yes. But if I want to kind of find one positive thing out of it, that it's easy now it's easy for them to relate, or it's easy to, as you said, identify or to understand. And I hope the world will unite.
As a doctor, you ended up setting up field hospitals effectively. What would you say to your colleagues in Ukraine about that?
Don't expect that there will be any red lines. That, we've seen yesterday, a maternity and pediatric hospital were kind of attacked. And the kind of technical advice is try to limit the number of patients that you have at the same time in the hospital. Try, if the kind of guidelines is to hospitalize the patient for 5 days or a week, minimize it to one, because there will be kind of the most vulnerable group when an attack happens and if the building collapse or anything.
You stayed in East Aleppo right to the end. Yeah. Does any part of you want to go there?
So, like, I definitely have that. Like, it's kind of, like, I feel like it's kind of the same scenario is happening. And I feel like if I have a stake to help the resilience of the people and the healthcare, like, force workers there, I would definitely try to go there. I've already contacted several, like, NGOs in Ukraine, trying to go there. I can't be in Aleppo now. I'm displaced. I'm a refugee here. I can, like, be kind of useful in another place. I would definitely, like, would love to go. That's, like, the words to say, yeah.